St. Patrick, probably the most famous man in the history of Ireland. He was also a man of very confusing identity. But the most famous man in Ireland, he actually came from over there, across the sea, in Scotland.
Hold on! Patrick was Scottish! Are you sure?
Well, no. He was from England.
Ah, so he was English then?
Well, no, not quite. He was actually Roman.
What, like Roman? Like the gladiators in the vomitorium?
Okay, stop. I'll explain. Patrick was descended from a Roman soldier who was part of the army of Caesar that invaded Britain, so he wasn't Irish or Scottish or even really English. Patrick's family lived just south of Hadrian's Wall on the border with Scotland. The wall was built because the Romans were scared of the Scottish and wanted to stop them invading. Both his father and his grandfather were Christians and served in the church, but in the end, it wasn't the Scottish Patrick had to worry about, as he was kidnapped by invading Irish pirates.
Yar, mateys! Sorry.
Patrick was only a teenager when he was captured, probably about 15 or 16. So he arrived here at Waterford Beach as a captive to be sold to the highest bidder at an auction on this beach. You can only imagine what he must have felt arriving here. He must have thought that God had abandoned him. Perhaps he remembered hearing about how Joseph was sold as a slave into Egypt.
Here, I thought Patrick lived on Slemish. What was he doing here on the beach?
Well, if you'll just let me finish, I'll explain. To stop him from escaping, Patrick would have had a rope tied around his waist. Then he would have begun the long walk inland, following the Glenarth River from the seashore up into the Antrim Glens, heading roughly in the direction of Ballymena. It would not have been an easy walk uphill, but it was easier than trying to cut through the dense forest that used to cover the glens. Patrick probably trudged past this very spot. I wonder if he had enough time to appreciate how beautiful it is. They would have hiked on, up through Glenarth. And eventually Patrick ended up here, on the slopes of Slemish, where he worked tending pigs and sheep on a farm.
Pigs? I don't see any pigs. There's no pigs at Slemish.
Well, there aren't really any pigs today at Slemish, but there would have been a lot back then. Patrick only stayed here for a few years though, before he was sold onto a new owner on the west coast of Ireland.
Whoa, well that's no fun. Didn't get free at all.
Yes, he did, and made a huge impact on Ireland. But for a few years, having been taken from his home in the north of England, he lived here on the beautiful grassy slopes of Slemish Mountain.